friends, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I will be recapping the small series that I have shared with you guys here on my channel for beginners. So if you guys haven't saw that yet, I recommend you guys go check that out. So for this video, I'm going to go ahead and recap that. So as you guys see me doing here is placing my first bead, and I'm pushing this towards the center, and I'm pulling this down and gonna pat it. And basically make sure that this isn't running down the sides or anything like that. Just make sure you guys have control over what you guys are doing. And this is why I wanted to go ahead and practice the liquid to powder ratio previously with you guys. So if you feel that you're ready, you have the hang of the liquid to powder ratio, you're ready to go ahead and practice with someone or yourself or your practice hand, go for it and start practicing. So this is basically how I would practice or how I used to practice as well when I was a beginner. So literally I'm just picking up the beads and I'm trying to place them in 3 beads. So I did my first, this is my second, placed it right above the free edge, blending that down right away because you don't want that bead to create consistency and then pull it down. And then you want a nice even application. So while it's still not setting, you want to go ahead and pull that down. So I'm going to go ahead in with my third bead, place it and push that into the cuticle area carefully, just as close as possible, but don't let it run into that cuticle. And then we're going to pull that down right away. And then with the tip of our brush, we're going to clean our side walls, as you guys see, and then use the body of the brush so you can clean down the side. So if you're working on a long nail, this is what you want to do. You want to use your body of the brush, and I'll go ahead over that in a second because we're going to do 3 more nails. But here you're going to see me place another bead. I'm going to pull this up. Notice that I placed it basically backwards or upside down, and then I'm pulling that down again. So we'll go over this another time until you guys kind of get the hang of it. So, and then I'm going to make it a little bit trickier for you guys in this one. I'm going to create an ombre because I feel like that's something you guys really want to learn as well. If you are new to doing nails, it's just something you can do with anything. And it's one of the easiest designs you guys can practice until you get the hang of, creating ideas and things like that. So now I'm going to go ahead in with my first white pearl, and I'm going to do the same thing as I did for the first. Now I'm going to place this right in the center, push, and place that into the center, and then we're going to go ahead and blend this down. So go ahead and pull, okay, and make sure that you guys are wiping your brush in between so that you don't have product on your brush and you don't have this like amount of product on there, which is going to just make whatever you have on the nail going on, it's just going to make it a mess. So make sure you're wiping in between your brush. I'm going to go ahead and pick up another pearl, push, and blend that into the natural nail, and then pull down right away so that you have a nice even application. Using the body of the brush, you clean the side walls of your nail. And then if you guys want to go ahead and fill in, there you go, flip your brush upside down and pull up, and then there you have it. Clean down just a little bit. If it's too wet, just wait for it to create a little bit of consistency and pat that into place. And when you're working your ombres, the trick is to work with a consistency that has more monomer or it's more wet, so that you can create that blend effect a lot easier than if it's already setting. So as you guys can see here, I placed that the first bead, I placed it right above the white. So you want to put it like right on top of the white and then pull down, and then there you go. I won't suggest you guys pat this or pull too much. You don't want to take that effect away. I'm going to go ahead with another bead right above that bead, and I'm going to go ahead, pull. And as you guys can see, just lightly feather strokes, okay? So that you can get that nice blend. And then I'm ready for my last bead, pushing that into the cuticle area. I'm going to go ahead, pull down, and then we're going to go ahead and clean this up with the tip of the brush again. And there you have it. Just making sure that you guys keep that nail facing the napkin at all times, because you need gravity to help you, especially when you're using a bead that's more watery or more that has more moisture in it, because it's wet, so it's going to gravitate towards the sides if you guys have it just flat facing up, you know what I mean? So yeah, So now I'm going to go ahead and switch my brushes. I'm going to go ahead and use the size 10 of Mia Secrets brush, the one that I recommended for beginners. And that's just if you guys don't know how to take care of your brush and they kind of stiffen for you. This is just a good brush that you guys can toss away because it's super affordable, but then it's good. You can achieve the same application as I did with my more expensive brush, right? So I'm going to go ahead with my bead, do the same thing, place it into the center and pull down before it starts to set. And there you have it. And we're going to clean the sides just a little bit and pull down until we blend this. And there you guys have it. So again, this is just a nice brush to have. Now, if you guys are familiar with having how to, maintain your brush and things like that, go ahead and use the brush that you have. You don't need to buy another brush. This is just for the beginners that have or usually have issues with their brushes getting stiff and things like that. So again, cleaning our sidewalls, and we're going to keep practicing the same method towards the cuticle area. Notice in the angle that I'm holding my brush as well, placing that in, pushing up to the cuticle area and pulling down right away. And then we're going to pat, pat, pat until that lays on the natural nail, as you guys can see. And then we're going to clean the sidewalls with the tip of our brush. So there you have it. Nice and beautiful. So the trick here is the consistency. You want to make sure you get that consistency right. Here I'm again applying upside down, and then I'm just pulling down. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because if you guys look at the nail, before I applied that bead, the center, as you could see in this white, the ombre nail, it has like a little dent in the center. So that's basically what I was filling in. Because I don't have an ombre effect there, I'm not going to fill it in with clear. So I went in and I applied that last bead. So here we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the ombre again so that you guys can see how I do it with this brush, and then we can go ahead and encapsulate the ombre ones. So I'm going to go ahead and with my bead, place that right towards the center, push it up towards the free edge of the natural nail, and then we're going to pull it down to blend this nicely. And there you guys have it. Now with the body of the brush, I'm cleaning my sidewalls, picking up another pearl, and I'm going to place that right at the free edge, and I'm going to blend this down, and then make sure that you're kind of creating, I will say like a little steep, I think it's called, correct me if I'm wrong. So you want that application from the natural nail towards the free edge of the artificial nail, and then I'm going to go ahead and fill in the tip of this nail as well. So there you guys have it. So the reason why you guys want to do that steep, like I was mentioning, is because you want that pink to blend in right in the center. So you want that white and pink to meet right in the center so that you can get that perfect blend. This is more of a beginner's way to do this. The advanced way that I show how to do this is without having to cap it, so that when you guys file, you don't lose your blend. But pretty much this is a better way if you guys are new to the ombre thing, how to actually do that. So again, I placed my bead and I right away went in to blend that, and you guys see how easily I can do that because I created that steep that I was telling you guys about. And then just go ahead and clean your sidewalls. So make sure you guys are keeping the consistency of the application there. Just start from the bottom up, and then go ahead and apply your last bead, push it into the cuticle area and pull down, and then go ahead and clean up. So just making sure that you guys are keeping everything nice and put together so that it's much more easier at the time you guys have to go back and file. And this does take time to actually I would say like manage, but I'm pretty sure you guys can do that if you guys continue to practice. This is all about practice. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys will grab the hang of it. The more you practice, the more you will get the feel of your brush and things like that. If you guys feel like you don't like it's more like your brush, go ahead and try different brushes until you find the right brush to work with. I feel like a lot of times the brush can get in the way of you working. And then here, as you guys see really quick, this is just me capping it in. So I'm using clear, going ahead with my bead and blending that down. And then I'm going to go ahead and again and place another bead, and we're going to go in upside down again, swiping that up, pulling it up, and then dragging it down. So as I was saying about the brushes, I'm going to go ahead and prepare a video for you guys everything you should know about a brush before buying one, basically, because I feel like that's so important. But again, you know, you want to go ahead and practice first and know what you're doing, and then go into getting yourself a good brush, so that way you guys can figure out if the brush is actually working for you or not. I have been through so many brushes, so I could pretty much take you guys throughout that journey of mines, and hopefully it can help you guys too. So here I'm just going ahead and capping this in as well, and I'm going to go in with another bead, putting that upside down, pulling up, and then dragging it back down. And that's pretty much it, using the body of my brush, as you guys can see here, to clean the sidewalls, make sure it's nice and clean so I don't have to shape too much or just lose the actual shape that I already have going on, and just making sure that I'm patting that. Once you see that the bead is drying, don't drag. Don't drag at that point. You guys will notice when your acrylic starts to set, and that's going to help you so much when you see it matting out. That's when you're going to just pat it into place. But notice here, what I'm showing is there's still a dent there. So I'm going to go ahead with another bead, and I'm going to pick this one up a little bit more dried, I would say, not too wet, because I want to create, I wanted to fill in that gap. So I'm patting this into place. As you guys can see, I patted it into place because once it's a drier bead, and you guys will notice the difference once you start to practice. You have to actually physically see what you're doing in order to kind of learn it, because I can tell you guys how to do this over and over again, but if you aren't practicing, you won't really understand until you're actually there physically practicing and seeing for yourself how, you know, to go about it. Here I seen that dent as well, so I want to go ahead and place a bead as well and just go ahead and fill that in. Now the reason why you want to fill this in is because once you start to file, you'll see that if this happens to you and you don't fill it in, when you start to file, you're gonna end up filing the part where like your natural nail is at, and then that free edge of the artificial nail, and you're still gonna have that hole in the middle. So basically you're gonna have to bring down your nail completely down to where that dent is. So it's gonna make your nail a lot more thinner than it should be. So yeah, so avoid that, just go ahead and fill it in. Here I'm ready to file, so I'm going to go ahead and file these sidewalls. Notice that I'm using a hand file, which is what I like to do, and that's what I recommend you guys to do. Completely straight. I'm going in and just cleaning from that sidewall all the way down, just keeping my file completely straight. So just cleaning it up. No need to over file, just making sure that's nice and clear and clean. You guys can go ahead and clean up underneath as well. I'll show you in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and dust this off. I love to dust off in between my my filing, just because I can see better. I don't know, I feel like it helps me see better what I'm doing. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip my hand upside down. This helps me see the same way that my client is seeing, so I have their view basically. And this just helps me keep my shape a lot more, I would say, sharp. And overall, it's just so much easier, I feel like, this way. If you guys are used to doing it the other way around, that's totally fine. You guys can go ahead and do that. This is just what works for me. So I'm able to come in and clean this out this way, and then once I flip it, if I see a little edge, I can go ahead and clean it up. So I'm gonna do this throughout these other two. I also like to come in and measure them to make sure they're just about the same size. I noticed that at one point, for some reason, I guess I was just trying to work too fast, or I just wasn't paying attention, where I would have some of my nails look shorter and some look longer. So what I like to do is just go ahead and measure them in between to make sure that I have a consistent size, you know, throughout the nails as well. All right, so now that I am happy with what I see, I'm going to come back. Let's go ahead and dust this off. I do see a little a little bit of an edge here. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this out, as you guys can see. And now we are ready to file. So I'm gonna go ahead with my hand file the same way I shared with you guys in the video. I'm gonna go straight across the nail at a 0-degree angle. I'm not sure if I caught it or if you guys caught it, but I might have told you guys the angle wrong for some reason. But yeah, you're gonna go in first at a 0, create your guideline, and then work your way down the sides of the nails. So if you guys want more details in how to file, I will share the video around here somewhere if you guys are interested. But pretty much that's just my filing technique. It helps me so much. Just keep control over what I'm doing and not over filing. So that's pretty much what I'm doing here. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys another demonstration. So again, I'm gonna create my guideline as you guys can see there. Just file across at a 0-degree angle, and then we're gonna take that from the center all the way down, as you guys can see. And I just absolutely enjoy this technique of filing because you know you get to file straight through the nail. And you can use the same technique with the e-file as well. If you guys want to go ahead and practice that with the e-file, you guys can do that as well. I'll probably share that with you guys in a more advanced video, because I'm pretty sure a few of you have pretty good experience as well. So yeah, I was just focusing more on the beginners, and then I wanted to go ahead more into like advanced. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I honestly share my tips and tricks because I know it can be hard as a beginner, and even when you've been a while in the game, there's just so much sometimes that we don't notice, and just little things that we can tweak that'll help us work a lot faster and be more efficient when it comes to doing nails. So that's pretty much that. And then now I'm gonna go ahead and buff these nails. Now this small buffer, as you guys can see, I'm absolutely loving it. This came in one of my PR packages by Double Dip, I believe, and I just need some more of these. They're so amazing. It's just so small and convenient. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing here, just buffing them. And there you have it. And then we're ready for top coat. So let's go ahead and top these off. Now I'm gonna go ahead in with one of my favorite top coats, which is Pro Finish Gel by Legacy Nails. If you guys are interested, I'll link it down below. But pretty much I'm gonna apply this midway of the nail, and I'm gonna pull that down. And then I'm just gonna charge my brush up just a little bit, and then I'm gonna work my way up, fan out the brush in that cuticle area, and pull down. Make sure you guys are staying away from the skin because this will flood into the cuticles. So just make sure you're keeping a thin line so that it'll just stay there. And if it does sink in a little bit, go ahead in with a brush and clean it out with just a little bit of alcohol before curing. So I'm gonna go ahead again. I'm gonna do the same thing midway, pull down, because the nail is pretty long. So most of the product I'm applying it on the bottom half, and then I'm going ahead and working my way up like so. So just be careful in that cuticle area. And again, midway, pulling down. I like to start in the center, then I'll go ahead and, you know, on the sides, and then I'll work my way up, fan out that brush, the cuticle area, and then just pull down. So the way that it'll be easier for you guys, I would say, to fan it out, just go ahead and rock your brush into the cuticle area back and forth. Rock it, and then you're gonna notice that the bristles are going to fan out. So once it fans out for you, it'll help you create that nice clean look in the cuticle area. So just practice that. I promise you guys that's going to help you. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in the LED lamp. And by the way, I'm using the Chiara Sky. And there you have it, 60 seconds, nice and cured. This does not have a tacky layer, as you guys can see. Super convenient, right? So you guys don't have to have like another step in there removing that tacky layer. So that's why this is one of my favorites. And look how beautiful they look, so shiny. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new here to my channel. Smash that like button if you guys enjoyed this video and would like to see more videos like this. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.